Way.
All right. Thank you very much, Jesse. Appreciate that warm introduction. And we're excited to be here. I'm your host, William Jaramillo. I'm the Director of Partner Development. And I have a very special guest today, Mr. Alex Gonzalez. He's the CEO and co-founder of ActivePBX. To tell you a little bit about myself, I've been in the telecommunications business for about 18 years now, providing solutions to enterprises with enterprise type software, contact center solutions, and telecommunications. Clients all the way from SMB to Fortune 500 companies. And our Alex Gonzalez, he's our CEO and co-founder, as I mentioned. He's been in the telecommunications business for over 15 years. He's a pioneer of the internet since a very, very young age when he co-founded an ISP and hosting company back in 1996 during the dot-com boom era. So that's a little bit about us, who we are, and obviously we specialize in contact center solutions, CTI solutions, and telephony in the cloud. And we have an excellent solution for SugarCRM clientele. And on today's agenda, we'll discuss exactly what CTI is as per the definition, the different forms that it could take, and how it could help your business. What's unique about us is that we're the CRM-friendly cloud telephony company, and we help businesses eliminate problems that they have and use information intelligently. We'll talk about a SugarCRM client that uses our solution as an example as to how it may be able to help your business. And then we'll even get into a demo with SugarCRM and our solution working together. And at the end, we'll leave it open to you guys if you want to have a customized demo for you folks, we could do that. Contact Jesse, and we'll move into that towards the end of the presentation. So what we would like to do right now is talk to you about exactly what CTI is. It's computer telephony integration. And what that means is that it's technology that enables computers to interact with telephones, with business telephones. So that's what CTI is. I know it's an acronym, but really what we make it is easy because we're the computer telephony friendly company, CRM friendly telephony company. So I want to share with you a study that was done in 2018 and published by the Harvard Business Review that said that only 10% of B2B companies registered a lead response time in 5 minutes or less. When a lead waits longer than 5 minutes and there's no interaction, that drops, the lead qualification drops significantly, and your chances to get a lead qualified further drops drastically to 400% when you make contact at the 10 minutes and beyond point. That's why it's so important to have a CTI and a computer telephony friendly solution, because with automatic call logging, you're able to do things in real time and you're able to respond to a customer's needs. And everything works with SugarCRM. You're able to monitor key performance indicators, including dropped calls, call duration, first call resolutions, sales, etc. So all these things that you see here on the left-hand side are what improves when you see CTI, call accuracy, the adoption of the CRM, the metrics, and you do it with the things that are on the right-hand side, which is the pop-ups, the recording of the voice, the automatic call loggings. You click on a hyperlink and it dials for you, and Alex will show us a demo later on today where you can see that in action. And all the contact center things are included, and you have a full view of the customer. And last but not least, the advanced analytics that are included with this. So that's how that's what CTI does for your business. And you can see obviously how important that would be in helping a business stay ahead of their competition. So how can telephony integrated with your technology benefit your business, which obviously would be with SugarCRM, is that a CRM-friendly telephony solution promotes user adoption. A lot of times when you have a CRM, folks are reluctant to use it, and it's a challenge that always exists, is how can we get user adoption to increase. When you have pop-ups that come up every time consistently, it eliminates the gaps of maybe an agent not taking notes because he was fumbling around or doing other things or got distracted. And ActivePBX contact center solutions makes that easy because it's automatic. Not only do the calls get logged, but then it presents a nice pop-up for the agent to have there all the time and be able to resolve things. So let's take a closer look as to how that is actually done. In the contact center industry, there are barriers for the agents, and it creates problems. And those problems are that they forgot, they were fumbling around, and they couldn't get things done. Those barriers go away. How do they go away with ActivePBX, Alex? Can you share with us how ActivePBX can have these barriers and these problems that agents face go away?
Hey everyone, how are you? This is Alex Gonzalez, CEO and co-founder of ActivePBX. William and Jesse, thanks for the warm intro. And I'm really pleased to see so many attendees on the webinar. Thanks in advance for your undivided attention. So to go on with William's point here and to cover this slide, one of the common complaints that agents have are that when they're juggling phone calls, it's very difficult to find information, very difficult to jump through screens. Many times researching their customers or their prospects online, on the web, it's hard to juggle phone calls and do all that at once. So one of the things that we bring to the table is we give you instant visibility. When a call comes in, the call pops up. It's a simple to read UI that's in the browser. So you could actually be navigating other screens. You could be on LinkedIn doing research, visiting their website, and you have a very non-intrusive pop-up on your screen that shows you who's calling. And it could be the actual contact, lead, or the organization, depending how you have it categorized in your CRM. But with that, the pop-up, as you see here on the slide, also gives you the ability to easily take notes, which, normally you would have to basically open the screen for that contact and find the section to take notes. That could be cumbersome during a phone call and while you're doing research. So you could do a lot of things in one pass with this very easy to use UI. And so you could do things like create follow-ups. So in one pass, you're taking notes, you're creating a follow-up, and then you could make selections. If you have drop downs inside your CRM and SugarCRM, to be specific, you can actually dynamically pull those and display them on the UI. So let's say you have a call disposition, whether you connected, or if, let's say, you reach their voicemail, it could be a pick list and you make the selection. What does this all do? It helps you essentially refine the data in your CRM over time. By taking better notes, logging more calls, more activities, creating follow-ups, you are truly logging all the interactions with your customers. So over time, what does that translate to? Just better data inside your CRM. And essentially what you're doing is you're eliminating the barriers that would stop you from doing this and allowing it to happen more frequently and more consistently. So I'll go ahead and hand it back to you, William.
Excellent, Alex. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. How these problems are avoided now, and have agents participate a lot more within the CRM because everything is presented to them. Appreciate that. Now moving on to the next slide is that a lot of times capturing valuable interactions, the CRM would only capture normally, for example, emails, but there are other types of interactions and important activities that the agents become overwhelmed, don't have an area really to do this. How can ActivePBX fill the gaps and help capture other valuable interactions, not just email, for example, inside the CRM? Alex.
Sure, I'll fill in the blanks with that, William. And if you could just show that extra screenshot there of SugarCRM.
Yes.
But basically, yes, in a traditional scenario, Most businesses are only capturing the email interactions in an automated fashion. A lot of times the actual phone system is not integrated, right? It doesn't have CTI and it doesn't have any kind of back-end integration, like let's say via an API or anything like that to automatically log phone interactions. What does this mean? That the agents have to do this manually, and so you're fully dependent on the agents doing this on every call, which in most cases just doesn't happen. A lot of the reasons are what we covered in the last slide. It's just very difficult for them to do it effectively when they're juggling phone calls and they get busy with other things. They might be preparing proposals. And so it really throws them out of their workflow to have to do this a lot of times. And it takes a lot of extra effort. So a lot of times you'll have supervisors and managers constantly checking in with their agents to make sure that they're doing these things to properly capture the data and the interactions. But with our system being tightly integrated with SugarCRM, it's connected via API through the back end. So what this means is that every time there's an inbound or outbound phone call, we're actually logging that automatically. And then we give the agent the ability to add additional notes, create follow-ups, and do other things around those call activities. But for the most part, they're being logged automatically. So what does this do? It essentially completes the circle. The whole point of the CRM is to capture as much data as possible to be familiar with your clients. And this is used both for sales and customer service. But by doing this, you have a lot more information at your fingertips. So some other things that we bring to the table. Our PBX, our cloud-based contact center solution, has a call recording feature. And many phone systems do, the modern ones at least. Some don't. But the ones that do, in many cases, you would still have to contact your IT department to pull those call recordings. So you would have to basically know the phone number, the time, the date and time of the call, and sometimes even the duration to pull those recordings, and it can take a few days to a week to get them sometimes. Well, what we do is we can actually tie the call recordings to the CRM record. So where you have a call log, you can actually just click to listen to the call recording. So that makes that easily accessible, not just for agents, but also for supervisors. And in many cases, that's being used for training purposes, and it's very, very useful. Some other things that we allow you to do is you can always usually pull reports from a PBX, but those are raw reports. Many times you just have a phone number, call duration, whether it's inbound or outbound. So it doesn't really tie back to the CRM. So what we bring to the table is that we can actually show you reports that combine the actual raw call activity with the CRM activity. And that's a lot more useful because you can see things like, who are your agents calling? Are they leads or clients that are in the CRM or they're outside the CRM? How many notes are being taken on each call? Things like that. This is all very useful data that you normally would not be able to see, or it would just be very difficult to see it because you'd have to pull multiple reports and then combine them just to get that kind of information. So William, I think that answers your question and it covers the slide, so I'll go ahead and hand it back over to you.
Yes, Alex, it certainly does. Thank you very much for explaining that. That completes the circle. So now, Alex, that a business has this information, agents are taking notes, you're capturing every interaction. There are really no more gaps. They have a lot of information. How does the business use this information? You know, does it help sales? Does it help customer support? You know, please share with us how it helps the actual business having this extra data consistently added to the CRM, please.
Thanks for that, William. And yes, most companies are usually wondering, you know, what does this mean to them? What does it mean to their business? You know, having this data in the CRM, what does it really allow me to do? What does it translate to? So, you know, by having the information more refined inside the CRM, by having it readily available for your agents, by allowing it to take better notes and truly completing the circle, like we said before, it really just translates to improved customer satisfaction. whether it's for sales or customer service, if your agents are more informed as to what's been happening with that particular contact, then they're going to be able to better service them. Things like dynamic call routing. If you have data in the CRM that indicates that someone is on a Windows platform versus a Mac platform, then why would you require them to dial an option in the automated menu when you could automatically route them to the correct support group? This all saves time and improves customer satisfaction because they're not being bounced around in an IVR and potentially going to the wrong department. I'd like to actually talk more about intelligent routing. It's one of our latest and greatest features. And essentially, let's say you had someone interacting with a client and they were dealing with a particular issue. Well, the system can actually do a database dip and determine who the last agent was and route that customer directly to them. Obviously, by having this, what are you doing? You're potentially shortening the sales cycles, and you're encouraging first call resolutions by having the data readily available and your agents much more informed than they normally would be. So taking it a step further, this also lets you make critical business decisions. So you can optimize your staff. If you know that there's a higher connect rate at a certain time of the day, and maybe Tuesday through Thursday are the highest connect rates at around 2 to 4 p.m., well, now you can make critical business decisions and you can actually schedule your staff around those times. So other things that you could do is, schedule telemarketing campaigns during times of the day where your agents are most effective, or that you have the right team working with the best results on opportunities. And of course, like I mentioned before, you can monitor and train with call recordings that are now easily accessible from the CRM and are ready on demand for use, whether it's for training or quality assurance purposes. So William, I'll go ahead and hand it back to you on that. I think I covered these two slides, and we'll go on.
Excellent. So yeah, now thank you for covering that, Alex. Taking action with intelligence and data, a business can make better decisions. Appreciate that, Alex. What I'd like to do now is share a user story about a company that's in the financial services, and Alex touched on it a little bit ago here in this last slide, and that is the intelligent routing. This specific customer had a workflow that they were looking at that had customers calling in that are VIP clientele. 80% of the business comes from their top clients, and they wanted them to be handled differently than other customers because they called in regularly, they knew who they were, and they wanted a specific team to handle their calls. So with intelligent routing, as Alex mentioned before, since the phone system and the computer and the data is all connected into one through CTI, they're able to know that the VIP type of client is calling, and they don't even have to press 1 to say they're a VIP client or 2 that they're a different type of client. It automatically recognizes them because it's a field inside the SugarCRM. And because of the APIs and because of the tight integration with Sugar, we're able to route it to the team that handles those types of clients. And even if it's the last agent that spoke to them, and that's a field in the SugarCRM, they're able to do this. We showed them, they gave us a requirement that they wanted this to be done when they got their solution. We were able to, in our SugarCRM demo instance, provide that type of workflow without requiring a digit to be input into the IVR or anything. Just by the fact that it was a VIP client, we were able to send it over to the right team. And when we showed them this, they were like, wow, seeing is believing. And truly, because everything is in one solution, the cloud enterprise grade phone system, the contact center solutions, and the CTI is already embedded in it, they were able to see that the clients they wanted to go to the right team every single time without having them lift a finger were intelligently routed. So they made an intelligent decision when they chose us by having this solution that was key to them, and we're able to do customizations when a customer needs it. And I wanted to share that with the audience so that they know that if they have something that's unique or they want to push the envelope instead of just regular, routing or regular, skills-based routing, we could do intelligent routing for them as well. So I wanted to share that. Then they also had a vision, this specific customer, in the future for growth, and they wanted to know if they could have their sales team, which is a mobile sales team out in the field in different states, be part of the phone system so they could, again, record and log calls by different and specific clients. And with the versatility of our platform, we are definitely able to do that. As Alex touched before, the call recordings that they wanted are embedded within the SugarCRM. So now it's in a field in the call record where they could just click on that, and there is the recording that pertains to that specific customer. They don't have to go and search for it in another system. They required that it be in there, and we were able to do that quickly for them. Their sales team has either iOS or Android. It's a mix. Some of the people work out of their homes. Some of them have Macs. Some of them have Windows. Some of them have their iPads or tablets that they wanted to download. So they go in to the App Store, they download our app, and now their cell phone or their computer becomes like a full-blown desktop phone, but it's a soft phone. And that's exactly what they wanted to accomplish when they had their growth spurt and they had clients and agents in other states. They were able to become part of the system even if they were remote. So that data dip, that mobility gave them the ability to grow and expand even with remote agents. And that really was key for them. And I wanted to share that with the audience with this breakdown so they could know that they could grow and they could also have mobile solutions with ActivePBX. So results speak louder than words. This specific customer also had a time crunch in where they needed to move from their on-premise solution over to the cloud, and we were able to do that quickly. A Gantt chart and a project manager is assigned, and we are able to do this in weeks, not months, for time-sensitive situations. And all that is possible because the advantages of having an all-in-one solution, a simple solution, yet very, very powerful. All the fine-tuning and all the trial and error goes away, and everything is done immediately because it's all in one solution, end to end. So with that being said, I would like to at this point, Alex, have the audience see a demonstration of ActivePBX working with SugarCRM, and I'd like to show how easy it is and how we could have a demonstration of calls coming in and out. And then obviously after the demo, we welcome anybody who wants their case to be done in a tailored demo. We welcome that in a free consultation. So Alex, take it away, please.
Okay, thank you. So as you can see here, I'm actually on the ActivePBX website, and the reason for that is I want to show that I don't necessarily have to have SugarCRM open for this to work. As I explained before, this all works through backend APIs, so our platform is actually interconnected with SugarCRM in the backend, so that even if you're not on your computer or you're not by your phone, you don't have SugarCRM open, which could be the case, it'll still work. It's still going to trigger the call events, and if there's a match, it's still going to log it. But in this particular case, as you can see here, I navigated away to a different screen. I'm not on SugarCRM, and I'm going to go ahead and make an inbound call from my mobile to the system. And we'll just let this ring here. And as you can see here, it automatically triggered the pop-up. And with that, you'll notice that there's actually the account and the contact coming up because they both happen to have the same phone number attached to them. This can happen in many cases when you have multiple employees working in an organization. They may be calling you from the main number. So this actually gives you the opportunity to select the correct employee And in this case, I'll just choose my contact here for the purposes of the demo. And if you notice, there's a counter here showing the duration of the call, or the amount of time since the call started to ring. And then at the conclusion of the call, which I just hung up, you'll see that it turns red here to show that it was ended, and I have a call duration showing that it was an inbound call. There's a lot of information here at my fingertips. And again, I'm still not even in the CRM. I have that open on another tab. So I can even see some recent activity. This includes email, phone, events, or anything associated to this particular contact. I can easily scroll through, and again, readily available. I could be browsing LinkedIn, I could be browsing the customer's website, yet I have this information available to me. And if I needed more real estate, I can always slide it in and out. So let me show you some of the other things that you can do here. Note taking, for example, I could put this is a test, right? And our platform actually detects natural language. So if I put in follow up tomorrow, you'll notice that it will actually detect this and create a follow-up task for tomorrow. So if I go ahead and change this to next month, it would automatically update, and the date would also get adjusted to now June 21st. With that, let's say I wanted to notify one of my team members of this interaction. I can hit the @ symbol and easily tag Max here, and he would receive an email with this note along with the links to the contact. So that's a lot happening here in one pass. And this, for anybody who's familiar with CRM or SugarCRM in particular, would know that this would have taken many different screens and many different clicks to do, which makes it very difficult to do while you're on a phone call. And then here we have call dispositions. These are just demo options, but they're coming dynamically from SugarCRM. So these could be specific to your business. Let's say you have particular pick lists. They could be around a particular marketing campaign or different things that you want to track. Well, you can have them being dynamically pulled from the record, and you can make the selections here. And then with that, I'll show you as well that you can, if you have a particular opportunity associated, then you can also attach this call record to that or create a new one. So again, this is very useful. You have a lot happening here in one particular screen. It's non-intrusive, and it still allows you to browse the web. And once I go ahead and click save here, then we'll go ahead and look in Sugar. And again, there's also a shortcut here where I can click to open the particular contact, the account, or even the phone number to click to dial. So if I go ahead and click the name here, we'll see how it opens in Sugar. And now if I scroll down, we'll see all the activity. So here's the activity that I just logged. You'll see IBC for inbound call. And then if we go ahead and click in, it has the information. Max was notified via email, and he can go ahead and click on the record to see the same. And then I'll go back, and we can also see how there's a task created as well for June 21st. So this is extremely useful, as you could imagine. And again, if you ever need to go into full detail, you can always open the CRM to do that. But while you're on a call or you're juggling multiple calls, this really eliminates the barriers. And, for supervisors and managers, it eliminates the, although valid excuses, there's still excuses from the agents where they push back a lot on having to take notes and take the time to do this. So this really makes it, I like to say, semi-automatic, because some of the process is happening automatically, whereas the rest of the process is allowing the agent to do it manually, but in a much more painless way. So I just showed you how the inbound works. Let's talk about outbound. So for outbound purposes, I can go ahead and click any phone number here, and it would actually generate a call. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's do that here. And if you can hear, it's ringing my extension. And then once I pick up, then it would actually perform the outbound call and trigger the pop-up. What I like about this is that it actually allows you to create a list that would essentially have phone numbers in a column. And so if you create a report, let's say, or a list of leads that you want your agents to work on throughout a day, then you can easily click down the list of phone numbers, and each time you make the outbound call, it actually triggers this pop-up, making it easy again to take notes, select call dispositions, see relevant info about the particular contact or account, and of course, log whatever information you put here, create follow-ups, and everything you saw on the inbound, you would be able to do here on the outbound. So it's just as useful for inbound as it is for outbound, and you also get the click to dial capability. So if you notice here on our website, any phone number that's on a web page, it doesn't have to be in Sugar, becomes clickable, and you don't have to manually dial it into your physical phone or the actual application, which we support the desktop and the mobile, as well as the web-based version. So with that, William, is there anything else you'd like me to cover here on the demo? I know this is kind of a watered down demo because there are thousands of features here, and I just want to remind everybody that if you engage with Faye or with William from our team, we'd be able to tailor a demo for your organization. But yeah. William, if you could just clarify if there's anything else you'd want me to show here, otherwise we can move on to the questions.
That was perfect, Alex. Yeah, there's some questions that have come in, and I'd like to take advantage of answering them real quick here before our time is up. But that's perfect. So yeah, if you could handle the, I'll go ahead and start taking control from this point on, and we'll take it from there. So some of the questions that actually came up, let me see if I could catch them here. Yeah, it says, let me see.
Yeah, if you'll just switch over the slide, you should have control now. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, it says how much time does it take to migrate an on-premise PBX to a cloud solution? So I'll go ahead and answer that. Really, usually in an on-premise solution, you have to go on, obviously on-premise, do the cabling and do the cross connects and a lot of work, and it takes a long time. But really, when it's a cloud solution, all the customer has to do is connect their phone to the Ethernet, because it's an Ethernet connection, and then the rest is handled by us. So really, it turns into days and maybe a week or two once we've collected all the information, and it's not as time consuming because the system is already set up in the cloud. They're just becoming a portion of an enterprise type of system in the cloud that's allocated for them. So
William, I can actually add to that one, if you don't mind. But that is a really good question. A lot of clients have a fear of the cloud. I remember, I would say maybe 10 years ago, that I would ask about moving to the cloud and everybody was fearful about it. And now I ask about the cloud and it seems like people are fearful about being left out of the cloud. So there are huge advantages to moving to the cloud, but definitely on the onboarding and the setup, it's much easier because, like you mentioned, for on-premise, most of the work is actually on-premise, whereas in our platform, it's all done on the cloud through web-based interfaces and things of that nature. So I would say that most of the time that is taken for onboarding is related to knowledge transfer. In other words, doing an inventory of your phone numbers, doing an inventory of the phones in your organization, the users, the extensions, maybe the flow of your calls and how they should be routed. But once that information is passed on to ActivePBX, then our dedicated onboarding specialist is going to go ahead and configure that. And that can probably take hours as opposed to weeks or days like other implementations would take. So once the knowledge transfer happens, and many companies already have this information readily available, then the actual onboarding and the configuration, it's very painless and it happens very, very quickly.
Great, Alex. The next question is, if we have Polycom phones with our existing cloud provider, can we reuse them if we move over to ActivePBX?
Yeah, I'll answer this one as well. Okay. Sure, I could take that one. So we're actually an authorized Polycom provider. So we worked hand in hand with Polycom, and I would say they're probably one of the most popular phone vendors right now for IP phones. They're very high quality, HD voice, all of the good stuff, all the bells and whistles. But yes, if you have Polycom phones or Cisco or any of the other popular brands like Yealink, they could essentially just be reconfigured to point to ActivePBX. And that's something that our team helps you do. With Polycom in particular, since we're partners and we're connected with Polycom, you would basically just have to give us the MAC addresses of the phones, which are labeled on the back, and we can put them in the Polycom database, and then they get auto provisioned to connect to our platform. So it's very, very painless with a phone vendor like Polycom.
Awesome. And then here's another question. Does your contact center package include collaboration and call recording, or is that extra? And if so, can the remote users also have the collaboration and the call recording? Would you like to take that one too, Alex?
Sure. That's a good one, actually. So something that we do unique at ActivePBX is that as opposed to selling everything a la carte and nickel and diming you for small features and things that you want to add or remove, we have a comprehensive package that includes everything. The cloud contact center solution, which includes collaboration. We have the call recording, like I mentioned in part of the presentation. So we could also integrate that with the SugarCRM integration so that it's accessible through Sugar. But all of this stuff is inclusive. And so being that we're a cloud-based solution and we were born as a cloud-based solution, all of this stuff is also available remotely. So there's really nothing tying you down to a physical office location or desk. You can use the mobile apps. You could use the web-based apps, desktop apps on your laptop, on your PC, whether it's from a conference room or a hotel lobby. You can really operate like if you were in your corporate office. So yes, everything is accessible remotely, and it's all inclusive for a set price per seat.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alex. I don't think there's time for any more questions at this point in time. So, I just want to offer to everybody a very special offer that if you're curious about connecting the dots between your SugarCRM and ActivePBX, please reach out to Jesse Heller at jesse.heller@bsg.com, and we'll schedule a consultation and we'll customize a demo with what you would like to see in your contact center solution, and we leave that open for you guys. So at this point in time, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and looking at our solution. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us or Faye. Jesse, do you have any closing comments?
Quick question. There was a question on pricing. Is it based off how many Sugar users they have?
Right.
Actually,
so yeah, that's actually this is Alex, and I'll take that one. That's a good question. So we offer two types of solutions. We either offer the complete solution where we would replace the entire phone system, or we offer a hybrid solution where we would only service the agents. So it really depends on how many users, whether they're on Sugar or not, are phone users. And if you're deciding to replace your entire existing phone system or just the part of the contact center. So it's priced per user, and it's based on the number of phone users per se, if that answers the question.
Great. Yeah, that was it. That was just the one pending question. So thanks again, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time to present to our clients today, and thanks everyone for attending. Send out a copy of the recording after today's presentation, and definitely we'll look forward to furthering the conversation along with everyone on this really cool solution for Sugar. So Alex, William, thanks again so much. You guys have a great rest of your week. Everyone have a great holiday weekend. Take care, everyone.
Hey, thank you all for your undivided attention, and I'm very pleased by all the attendees who joined us today. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you for having us. Bye-bye now.
All right, bye-bye.